So, guys, it is currently day 260. It's David here, and I hope you guys had a good day and are doing better than yesterday. But time is currently 5:35, and I'm having troubles really opening my eyes and staying awake. I don't know why, but I just woke up really tired and I want to sleep. But I guess that's a good thing because that means I am training hard. I don't know, guys. But either way, I'm gonna get up now and do some work. Yes, I am finally going to skip gym in the morning and use the morning to prioritize working on what I want to do, right? Working on my project because I realize that that is my main priority. So I'm gonna do that, and I will see you guys in a bit. But let me get myself cleared up because there's some things I want to talk about today. And yeah, let's just do the first thing first, and I'll see you guys in a bit. It is currently 1:05, and yes, it has been a tremendous amount of time since I last had recorded. And no, I didn't take a nap or anything. Matter of fact, when I woke up this morning at 5:30 a.m., I chose to actually skip the gym and do the work like I had told myself to. So I got through 3 hours of deep work, thankfully. So at 9 o'clock, I was supposed to do a little bit more work before I go to the gym. However, my mom came in and told me that we want to go do some things. And I just went with her, right? Because I wanted to get one of my things sorted out for next week, and that is to apply for like student allowance, pretty much like government benefit. And I know it's not the best way to go around with things, but I just thought to give it a try and see how that goes. So I spent 4 hours at this place, didn't manage to get my thing completed, and I felt like an absolute failure and a loser. But guys, it's what it is, guys. She managed to get her things done, so pretty much I just accompanied her to get her things sorted today. I guess what you do as a family, right? You help family out, and this is just something you do. But that being said, guys, I haven't yet went to the gym. It is pretty late, 1 p.m. So I'm pretty back in my schedule, but that's fine, guys, because I managed to not make my schedule so rigid like I used to be. Because as long as I finish what I want to do based on the goals I had set up for the whole entire week, then this week is going to be a success, right? So at the moment, I'm gonna have some food because I haven't ate anything too besides some chicken breast this morning before I left. So gonna get some carbs, go to the gym for an amazing workout, probably take my mom with me because she wanted to make a change, and I'm just super happy to see that also. So very excited today. Leg session, squats. I'm going to absolutely smash it. I'm gonna go train harder than I have before. And when I'm done with that, guys, I want to come back and talk about how can we spend less time on our phones and how can we actually make something out of our life. How can we stay less distracted and do something with the spare time we do have. And why is this so important, guys? It's because for a long time I used to be enslaved by YouTube, by watching so much movies every single day that I'll stay up till midnight just to getting that next hit of dopamine. And I just accomplished nothing with my life when I had such a bad habit. And it is only when I quit such habit that I managed to have some free time, and that free time eventually turned into some good habits, which lay the foundations of my self-improvement journey. So that is what I want to talk about today. But at the moment, I am feeling a little bit mentally drained, and that is because 4 hours of just sitting there waiting around can definitely drain you mentally. Even though you are not doing anything, just staying still and feeling that you are wasting your time away, that in itself can take away your mental energy and bring mental fatigue. So I definitely am not at the clearest I want to be, but I am just happy that I managed to use 3 hours this morning where I am the most focused and most productive to actually do the work. Therefore, if I don't actually manage to do any work later on today, which I know I will, but let's just say if I don't manage to do anything, at least I got something done today, and that will contribute to my overall goal, which will mean if I do this every single day for the week, then I should be on track to achieving my goals I had laid out on Sunday. That being said, a lot of talking and a lot of uncertainties.
But I'll see you guys in a bit after I come back from this amazing and draining leg session. Hey guys, it's David here, and it is currently 4:34. Just came back from an amazing leg session with my mom, and I could say that today was fabulously well. I managed to hit new weights, full of energy, and just perform like an absolute beast. So, what this means to me is that perhaps I am increasing my performance at the gym. And yesterday was only an off day. So, this just backs up the statistics I had gathered for a long time from my training sessions, right? So this is why it's important to have data. So then when you have bad days, you will know that this isn't a threat to your progress, that you're not regressing just yet. And certainly you don't have to change things so quickly. And if you have a data, this makes you more certain that you should keep pushing forward as you have been doing, because tomorrow you may not know, but tomorrow may be the day where you improve. But if you give up too early, thinking that you overtrain, thinking that it's not working, then you'll never see yourself progress. And this goes to everything in life, guys, not just working out. But today, I think I performed better also is because I went during the afternoons. So I am so happy that I made this transition into my routine, although initially the feeling was very uncertain. Waking up in the morning, doing work was absolutely amazing. I had more focus, more clarity. Training in the afternoon, not only had I saved more energy to train, but also during the afternoons, I'm more awake, I'm more mentally active, therefore, I can push myself a bit harder. My muscles also is a bit warmed up. But that being said, guys, I want to talk about a little bit on how can we reduce our time on our phones? How can we reduce the time we spend watching TikTok, watching YouTube, watching Netflix, all those entertaining things that are sucking away our key asset, our time? So valuable. But for a long time, I had devalued it because I think we have time infinitely. Every single day, we will have a new set of 24 hours. Therefore, let me just make the whole day and just try and pleasure myself by watching YouTube, by binge watching movies. And that pretty much has been my life for quite a long time, guys. 3 years, 4 years. Matter of fact, throughout my whole childhood, I was raised by YouTube because my parents were busy and I got pretty much parented by an iPad. So, for my years of experience, I could confidently say that although it may be very enjoyable to watch YouTube or TikTok as they are designed to suck your attention span, but what's most important is that after a while, it becomes detrimental to your health, right? After a while, you realize that you cannot keep doing this, but because you had formed this year-longs of habit of just doing the same thing over and over again, if you don't end up spending your time on YouTube, you may think to yourself, well, what am I supposed to do with my time? And because we had spent so much time entertaining ourselves through these vices, that we are almost uncomfortable doing life without them. When we stop watching YouTube, when we start putting down our phone, we can't but help be in this worried state of what am I going to do with my life? And because of this lack of purpose, this lack of direction, we are more easily to then pick up the phone again and distract our mind. Because sometimes, guys, to self reflect, to actually think about what you want to do with your life is very uncomfortable, which is why a lot of us allow ourselves to be distracted because it is so much simpler to just distract ourselves from our responsibilities, distract ourselves from the unfairness the world offers to us. Because that is the truth, guys. The world is unfair, but certainly the world won't get any fairer if you just do the bare minimum, if you just do what you have been doing already. So, talking about being less addicted to your phone, what I had found to actually work is actually to reverse your thinking, is to actually find a way to be addictive of reducing your screen time. And for the first time I tried to reduce my time spent on YouTube and Netflix, etc., I'll actually measure my screen time every single day, and I'll always aim for at least a little bit lower than yesterday. So if the day prior I was on my phone for like 10 to 12 hours, I'll try aim for about 9 or 8 hours. And it was this constant battle of me trying to reduce my screen time and actually seeing a little bit of progress made the thing enjoyable. I was reprogramming my mind to eliminate this by finding a new dopamine hit, which is to actually reduce and see my result of reducing my screen time. And eventually, I managed to get down to about 30 minutes a day. But bear warning, guys. I didn't do this alone by just trying to resist myself from watching YouTube, by resisting myself from the temptations, because trying to avoid things eventually won't last, right? You can run, but you can't hide. I'm sure you guys have heard of the saying before, and this cannot be more true applied to this aspect or anything else of breaking a bad habit. You simply can't hide from it because eventually your temptations and your urges will catch up back to you. And if you didn't solve the root problem, if you didn't find purpose in life to fill that void of time, of free time, then the time you relapse again, it'll be harder, harsher, and you'll be worse. Therefore, you'll feel more disappointed and you'll feel like an absolute loser, thinking that change is just not possible for you, that you don't have the same skill set as those who do change. But that isn't the truth, guys. However, sometimes relapsing on any bad habit makes it seem as such because we tried so hard trying to avoid our phones, trying to avoid drinking, trying to avoid partying and all this and that. But we are not here to avoid, rather, we are trying to buy time by first avoiding it, which is obviously resisting. But once you resist and once you have that free time to think about what you want to do, then you should use that time and find your purpose. Use that time to find what you're passionate about and then replace that time with your bad habits. And this, by far, guys, all my mama's life, is the only way that I had found to be effective to actually reduce anything screen time recorded or to break any bad habits, is to actually fill your time with things that are productive, even if that's just going out for a walk, walking the dog, or just cleaning the house. You don't have to work on this big project that will bring you millions and millions of dollars, right? But the key idea is to start small. Do something that you're comfortable with while not too hard. Because once you try something too hard and you're never used to doing the hard work, then you might actually be counterproductive. Because sometimes doing the hard work, although we may feel motivated, if we can't sustain it, then what's the point? If we are sitting at our desk trying to make billions of dollars, but yet we haven't even learned how to make $10, then the mere idea of not achieving the results in a month time or a year time will make us feel like a loser, will burn us out. And once we feel like that, the worst thing is you may then justify that you don't have the skill sets to become successful, to actually break out of bad habits. Then what do? You may give up. And once you give up, you're going back to your old routines harder and much worse than last time. And this is one sure way and one recipe for absolute failure, for absolutely, totally disastrous adversity. Is to trying to do the hardest thing the first time you try to do change and try to blame yourself for not changing because you haven't accomplished this massive goal in the first attempt of change. Personally, guys, I had run into this mistake so many times. I tried to attack Goliath when I haven't yet understood I am David. And this simply is the truth that you simply have to take small steps, but always have a big vision. But just face reality sometimes. Understand that at your situation, you may not be the next Bill Gates or whatever in the next year or two. But always aim high, knowing that you and Bill Gates have nothing in difference. And just know that you and Bill Gates aren't that too far apart. He doesn't have this special ability that you don't possess. It is simply just consistent hard work and compounded over time, but that compound can only work if you stay consistent. That being said, guys, I am going to do a little bit more work, do some reading, because today I have been out, but it is only 4 o'clock, so I have plenty of time to do some work before dinner. So that being said, I'll see you guys in a bit. So guys, it is around that time of the day, 6:35, and about to go downstairs and have dinner. But before I do that, I also just want to touch on that there are definitely apps out there to help you stay less distracted on your phones and spend more time less on YouTube. And some of these could be as simply as free app blocker sites that blocks apps and websites for you to kind of minimize your chances of being distracted. And also, one thing I did find useful is adding a unhook extension on the actual YouTube browser on your laptop. If you are using laptop, this definitely basically hides away thumbnails, or you can actually pick, right? It basically hides away thumbnails, comments, and recommended. And this helps dramatically because What I use YouTube for now is I actually use it to learn. I type in the questions on what I want to figure it out, the solution, and that's pretty much all I use it for. And when you use these extensions, not only are you actually staying focused, but you tend to actually use the software for benefits instead of just going on YouTube to watch some random, I don't know, try not to laugh videos or whatever brain rot you are been watching for the past month or years. You can actually use YouTube for a resource to educate yourself, to find tutorials, which is what YouTube was honestly for, like a long time ago. But obviously now it's more of an entertainment. But there are definitely extensions out there to help you stay more focused. However, what I found with these extensions, and perhaps the only problem is, it does require you to have initial discipline, right? Because at the end of the day, you can obviously uninstall the app blockers, you can uninstall these extensions on YouTube that helps you take away the thumbnails, etc. But obviously, with now, app blockers do have a function where you can't delete the apps, or you set like this thing on your laptop where you honestly cannot delete it unless you go through some technical support and wait in line for like a few hours or so to make it more difficult on your part. But from what I know, if you really want to do something, like if the urge and temptation is really there and you have nothing else better to do, then you'll always find a way, right? You'll always find a way around the app blockers. You'll always find a way to watch the next movie or watch the next TikTok if you really want to, right? Heck, you might even go buy a new phone for that. So the thing with extensions and app blockers is, yes, they definitely help. They definitely give you that extra push to stay disciplined. But if you don't have a deeper reason as to why you should stop watching TikTok, Netflix, or YouTube, then this is going to come back at you, right? When the app block stops blocking your apps, you're going to go back. When the extensions isn't there, you're going to go back. So definitely these are going to be band-aid solutions for quick temporary wins to buy you some time. But if you don't use that time effectively to fill out your schedule with more important things to do in life, then eventually it will come back to you, right? You can only avoid things for a set period of time until it comes back at you more stronger and makes you relapse worse than before. So fixing yourself and really changing yourself is to understand that you cannot stay in one place, right? You cannot stay in one place. You can't just rest here and hope that things will change for you if you don't put in the effort, if you don't make the decision to be uncomfortable to change, because that's not how change works, guys. So to really get out of these runs, get out of these habits of wasting your time doing things you're later guilty of, is to first put the things down and just tell yourself, man, this ain't me anymore, right? This ain't me. I gotta do something in my life. Otherwise, I am going to repent for not trying. And at the end of the day, you should be happy that you died trying than not trying at all. But that being said, I'm going to go downstairs, have some food, refuel my energy, and come back and just spend the rest of the night really to just keep on coding, keep on working on the project, and keep on problem solving. Because at the end of the day, guys, if I feel like I haven't learned anything, I know I had learned something. And that is enough for me to keep going and just keep on improving than yesterday. Because that is improvement, guys. That is how you build character. It's not a quick instant fix or change that you become someone different in the next month or so, but rather it's small incremental wins that you build up for a long period of time. And I mean a long period of time for you to build a new set of characters, values, and principles. Quick fixes will never last. Although they may feel like a momentary triumph, they'll fall quicker than it was first built, which is why people are walking around these days, have a lot of false confidence, have a lot of fake personas they put up just to be exposed the moment they are put together with someone who holds those true core values to their soul and have that years of prolonged habits built to them. Because to have something built quick, guys, you can also lose it fast. But to really consolidate what you have, you should take your time to really understand yourself, understand why it is you want to do this, to make sure you're actually building an identity of your own liking and not of something that society wants you to be. That being said, I hope you guys have learned something from this. But if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, good night.